Hello, I'm Mihaela Gimlin. I'm an artist. Today we're talking about a list that one day I hope to be on. Top 10 most expensive paintings ever sold. At number 10 on the list, Masterpiece by Roy Lichtenstein.
Pop artist Roy Lichtenstein was a New York-based American artist famous for his comic book-like style. In January 2017, ownership of Masterpiece changed hands for a whopping $165 million. The woman in the painting says, "Soon you'll have all New York clamoring for your work." And clamor they did.
Number 9 on the list, Couche by Amedeo Modigliani.
This nude painting by Italian artist Amedeo Modigliani sold in November 2015 for $170.4 million. It was so scandalous in 1970 in Paris that at his one and only solo show, the police responded to the protesting crowd and shut down the exhibition immediately.
Number 8 on the list, Les Femmes d'Algers version O by Pablo Picasso.
A man on the list who needs no introduction, Pablo Picasso. This was the last of a series of 15 paintings inspired in part by the death of his friend, Henri Matisse, as well as Eugène Delacroix, whose original painting, Picasso, had based his adaptation on. It sold in May of 2015 for $179.4 million.
Number 7 on the list, pair of Portraist by Rembrandt.
Definitely one of my favorite artists, Rembrandt perfected the portrait painting. The subject of these paintings is a pair of wealthy Amsterdam newlyweds in the year 1634. Since their inception, this pair of portraits have always been displayed together. It is only natural they remain together in their record-breaking sale of $180 million.
Number 6 on the list, number 6, Violet, Green and Red by Mark Rothko.
It goes without saying that art appreciation is subjective. Leave me a comment below and tell me what you think. Does this painting belong to the top 10 most expensive paintings ever sold list? Like it or not, it landed on the number 6 spot, selling for $186 million.
Number 5 on the list, number 17A by Jackson Pollock.
Jackson Pollock is an iconic name in art. His unconventional style amounts to throwing a can of paint on the canvas and following that up with random drips of paint. While far from intentional, the results are amazing. At the number 5 spot, selling for a cool $200 million.
Number 4 on the list, When Will You Marry by Paul Gauguin.
Paul Gauguin is a French post-impressionist artist. Inspired by his visit to Tahiti, he painted When Will You Marry in 1892. It sold in February 2015 for $210 million.
Number 3 on the list, The Card Player by Paul Cezanne.
Paul Cezanne was a French post-impressionist artist who lived from 1839 to 1906. He is attributed as creating a sort of bridge between the 19th century Impressionism and the 20th century modern art such as Cubism. Both Matisse and Picasso remarked that Cezanne is the father of us all. For years, Cezanne's submissions were rejected by the Paris Salon, the premier art event in Western civilization, for over 150 years. At one point, the people of the town he lived in left copies of an article ridiculing him with an added note asking him to leave the town he was dishonoring. I wonder what those critics would say today if they knew his painting, The Card Players, sold in 2011 for $250 million.
Number 2 on the list, Interchange by Willem de Kooning.
Number 5 and number 2 entered the list together in September of 2015 in combined transaction worth $500 million. $200 million was for Jackson Pollock's number 17A and $300 million for Interchange painting by Dutch-American artist Willem de Kooning. Interchange previously had the number 1 spot until it was surpassed by our current number 1.
At number 1 on our list, Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci.
Salvator Mundi is the only Da Vinci painting held in a private collection. It was purchased in November 2015 for $450.3 million. It was likely commissioned around 1500. Around 1763, the painting disappeared from record until it was bought in 1900 by a British collector, only later to be sold by his great-grandson in 1958 for only £45. Oh, the irony of life! To be in a possession of such a great value and give it away for mere crumbs. To their defense, though, the artwork have been heavily painted over, and it was not attributed to Leonardo da Vinci until a group of art dealers who had acquired it in 2005 for $10,000 spent 6 years restoring it. There is still a dispute whether it was painted by da Vinci. However, in 2011, the consensus decision attributing this to da Vinci was confirmed.
So there you have it, top 10 list. Of course, this will change in time, but this is where we stand in July 2018. One more thing before you go. My art is available on canvas and on t-shirts. Link in the description below. Until next time, bye bye!